Today I'm going to share 3 secrets to help you prevent relapse after SIBO treatment, so stay tuned. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome for the first time. My name is Amanda Malachewski. I'm a certified functional nutrition health coach and a digestive and allergy detective. For weekly videos on how to create your personalized plan to resolve IBS and SIBO, please consider subscribing and be sure to hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video. Now, there are people who say that SIBO treatment doesn't work and that even if you use the regular treatment, it just comes back again, so it's kind of not even worth it. Now, as a gut health coach and the host of the Calm Digestion Method online program, and as a former SIBO sufferer myself, I've had a front row seat to seeing what really helps people overcome their SIBO and IBS and what keeps them stuck. And as I frequently say, strategy is more important than the specific tools that you use to get the job done. And that's equally true when we're talking about SIBO and how to prevent relapse. Now, as a quick aside, if you'd like to get your hands on the exact strategy that I teach my clients to help them find their personalized plan to resolve IBS and SIBO, you can check the description below this video for a link for that, or you can stick around till the end where I talk about it a little bit more. That said, today I want to share 3 hard-earned secrets that I've learned about finding lasting relief from SIBO and preventing relapse. So let's dive in. All right, first I want to give you a really brief and quick overview of SIBO in case you're not exactly sure what that is. So SIBO stands for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And its common and conventional treatment is to use an antibiotic called rifaximin if you have hydrogen SIBO, or to use rifaximin in combination with other antibiotics if you have methane SIBO or hydrogen sulfide SIBO. Now, if SIBO treatment is done improperly, it is really common for SIBO to recur or come back quickly after the end of your treatment. And I think that a lot of people think that because this happens, this means that the treatment isn't effective. But often when I dig a little deeper, I found that that person's naturopath or doctor hasn't approached the strategy of treating SIBO and dealing with relapse properly. And there's a lot more that they could have done. So secret number 1 about preventing SIBO relapse is that treating SIBO successfully often requires more than one single course of treatment. Especially if your gas levels are very high, a single 14-day treatment is unlikely to bring you all the way to SIBO remission. And even in some cases, I've heard of doctors only prescribing 10 days, and this is even less likely to be successful. My personal SIBO infection is a case in point for this situation. My very first SIBO test showed my methane levels were well above 50 parts per million, where anything above 10 parts per million is considered positive for methane SIBO. Because the 14-day course sometimes isn't very effective, some naturopaths and functional medicine doctors will prescribe 21 or even 30-day courses of antibiotics with a little bit of a better success rate. But regardless of how many days your provider has offered to prescribe antibiotics for you, the key missing strategy here is to make sure that you run a retest about 2 weeks after you finish your SIBO treatment to see how those gas numbers have changed and how you've responded to the treatment. If you're still SIBO positive, even if you feel better, you're much more likely to relapse more quickly and maybe require additional treatment. I myself required 4 separate rounds of treatment for 21 days each over the course of a year. So again, just keep in mind that successfully eradicating SIBO may take multiple rounds of treatment. Secret number 2 is that you have to pay attention to your gut motility. Motility simply means the speed at which things move through your intestines. And at its most basic level, the bacterial overgrowth of SIBO is caused by some kind of breakdown or problem with your gut motility. Usually, this problem with motility is the reason that you have SIBO in the first place. And so any long-term solution for fixing your SIBO is going to require that you address this. So the strategy you need to include here is twofold. Number 1 is you need to include something called a prokinetic agent starting immediately after your treatment. This helps you maintain your symptom relief and success longer. And I did make a whole other video about Prokinetics and the different types of those, so you might want to check that out if you need more information about that. The second piece is that you need to explore what was responsible for slowing down your motility in the first place. So for many of you, this is going to be a case of food poisoning that damaged your gut motility. This is the most common cause, but it could also be things like an injury or abdominal surgeries that led to scar tissue and adhesions, or something like endometriosis or other kinds of infections. It's crucial that you work to understand what this causes so that you can address it, because until you address that underlying cause of the motility problem, SIBO is likely to continue to come back. Secret number 3 is that you need to continuously work this process of testing, treatment, prokinetic treatment, and reevaluation to get to the point where your SIBO is resolved. The key thing to know here is that this may require adapting your approach as you gather new information from your future tests and your response to the treatments. Now, for some people, this can happen really quickly, like 1 or 2 rounds of treatment, and for others, it can take an extended period of time. Like I mentioned earlier, it took me an entire year to work my way through this process and get to the point where my SIBO was under control. Each round of treatment that I did changed the picture, and I had to adapt what I was doing to meet that change. For example, in my case, the methane producers were the first to succumb to the treatment, and subsequent tests showed that I had now elevated levels of hydrogen. Now, a lot of people see this change in the test results and say, it didn't work, everything's screwed up, it went really badly, but actually this isn't true. What's actually just happening is that the situation has changed and now maybe requires a little bit of a different approach. The truth is that even though the tests looked like that, things were moving in the right direction for me. So this is where the strategy of working with an advisor or support person who really understands the nuances of SIBO and IBS can really be helpful, so that you don't get yourself into a panic about what you're seeing and you can just stay the course and keep working methodically toward your solution. So I hope these 3 secrets can help you have a rock solid strategy for solving your personal case of SIBO and can prevent you from having relapse. The key is to see each step in the bigger context and to keep building on what's worked. Now, if you've struggled to put this strategy together for you, you're not alone. I help my clients go from gut overwhelm to a confident plan to restore calm digestion for themselves. And I'd love to have the opportunity to help you find your personal path to calm digestion. So if you need help creating your own personalized plan to resolve your IBS or SIBO, I'd love to offer you your own personal copy of my roadmap to gut recovery, which shares the exact strategy that I teach my clients inside my Calm Digestion Method program. You can download that by visiting confluencenutrition.com/roadmap. All right, let me know if this video was helpful for you by clicking like or leaving me a comment or leaving me a question if you have something I didn't answer. And you might next want to check out this video all about Prokinetics for SIBO. I think you'll find that very useful, and I will see you next time.